This is the people's house. This is where the voice of regular Americans is expressed. Before coming to this House, my job in May of 2006, I was teaching high school and had done it for 20 years and never made more than $50,000 a year. I proudly served our nation in the National Guard, but I asked the same questions too. How are we not getting further ahead? When I talked to someone about trying to get my two small children, Hope age 8, Gus age 2, how do I save for college? I said, well, then I will have to sell my house and live in a box, because that is impossible for us to do that. The lifeblood and the ladder to success of the middle class was the ability to educate our children, to get a good public school education, to go to a good trade school or to a good college to try and move up. Those things are becoming further and further from us. And the frustration that is felt in this country is because we have a system that did not respect those things, that did not put things in place to help the middle class. We were told if we helped and gave tax cuts to the wealthiest, wisest amongst us, they would rain down on us all of those blessings to get us there. Well, what's happened is the average worker has lost $2,000 in real salary over the last 10 years. We are working longest hours. The American people deserve better. They are the most productive, most innovating people in the world. The middle class that built this country is now feeling the pinch. This piece of legislation is the down payment on putting things back in balance. We're not against the free market. You will hear people come in here and talk about it. But there is no free market when those at the top are benefiting from everything. Those at the top are not being held to the same standard as those that are actually doing the labor. So this piece of legislation, and the gentleman, we've heard from many of them. I heard the gentleman from Kentucky talk about this being a parachute. My colloquialism coming from the land of 10,000 lakes is it's a life preserver. And that's what it is. This isn't going to get us where we need to go. What's going to get us is people standing in this people's house and hearing these members talk about the truth, talk about where the issues are, make real sacrifices. Don't ask the American people to believe talking points. Don't regurgitate the same old stories to them. Tell them where the economy is at. Speak to them as President Obama spoke to us about where we need to go, and then have the courage to say, if it's not working, we need to readjust. This piece of legislation going to be about $1,000 for 95% of the public. It's going to refund education and make sure that we're doing the things we need to do to build for the future. It's going to start moving us off our dependence on foreign oil and the tyranny of oil that drags us into conflicts we have no business in. Those are the types of things that we can adjust. We can bring this back in, and we can debate in this House how we get there. Very valid points. I can tell you this deficit troubles me deeply. But the fact of the matter is right now, the private sector is not creating jobs. The private sector doesn't have capital, and we were slowly spiraling down. More layoffs, more people that are going to go hungry, more people that are going to depend on the government to get things that they don't want to. These are proud people. Those people in Ohio and Connecticut and Minnesota, they want to work hard, be compensated fairly, and do the things that they enjoy doing with their families, trying to move forward. This piece of legislation can do that. I say it time and time again. I heard the gentleman talk about it from New York. You stand here long enough and you listen to this long enough, and you will hear people talking about the issues and trying to frame it in a certain way. The fact of the matter is this: our economy is not working correctly. The middle class are feeling the brunt of this. We are bleeding jobs, and we are slowly pulling things down, making it more difficult for the middle class to achieve the American dream. This piece of legislation stops the fall or throws the life preserver. It lets us readjust, get a handle on health care costs, make it easier to invest in education, make sure people are rewarded for doing the right thing, not for simply speculating, and get back to innovation and entrepreneurship. So the gentleman from Florida, I want to thank you for continuously hosting these discussions, for gathering people from across this land, for making sure the people's representatives stand here and speak what's happening in southern Minnesota, what's happening in Connecticut, what's happening in Ohio, and to get the American public to understand this is not about politics, this is not about games, this is not about who's winning the House and how we can drive down support of the House. You people have a 14% approval rating. Here's what I'm here to tell you. If we have a 14% approval rating, our democracy is in trouble. We must speak the truth. We must be bold. We must move this legislation, and we must find solutions for the American people. That's what our purpose is. That's the greatness of this country, and the gentleman has brought together people who express that from across the country. So with that, I yield back and appreciate the gentleman's time.